Hello everyone, this is White Wolf once again. My TikTok was posting to Instagram. I apologize for that. Also, I wanted to talk about surrendering. What does it mean to really surrender? And surrendering to your wisdom, surrendering your limiting beliefs. What does it mean to really surrender yourself to the divine? It's just allowing yourself to understand that you can have emotions, that you can have days where you get triggered, that you don't suppress anything that the divine wants from you. When you surrender yourself and give yourself up as a vessel of the divine, you allow yourself to surrender the very fact that you don't have to be unworthy in a sense. You don't have to be limiting. You don't have to be stuck in a bubble or stuck in a time loop. You don't have to be stuck in your own way. You can actually get out of your own way and actually empower yourself from where you are at this exact moment, and understanding by surrendering, you can break time loops, you can break certain timelines, you can break certain configurations of energy that are negative, that are stale, that are limiting. So you can break yourself out of a time loop by surrendering to your own wisdom. And sometimes it happens in increments and sometimes it happens in stages, but every day we are surrendering more and more to our masculinity and our divine feminine, which is generating that Kundalini energy, which is an energy of release, which is an energy of reception, but it's also an energy of letting go. When you allow yourself to let go every day, you're actually gaining something by using the law of addition, because you're subtracting more out of your reality by surrendering. When you realize that you're surrendering more and more every day, it means you're upping a frequency of consciousness, a density of consciousness, and it's just allowing you to surrender to your own will and understanding that you have the will to be free. You have the will to be you. You have the will to be your own divine presence. So allowing yourself to surrender is just giving yourself another gateway, another portal, another avenue to where you can receive, to where you can transform, to where you can heal more and more of yourself. As you surrender more and more deeper, you allow yourself to have more of an open perspective, more of an open heart, more of an open vessel so that you can receive, because energy fluctuates, but also as we grow, our chakras change, they get bigger, they get wider, and our awareness gets more spacious. We turn more into a nothingness because we realize that that is God, and that we realize that we're perfecting this aligned illusion of who we really are. So by surrendering more, you're surrendering more to your prophetic nature. You're surrendering more to who you are. You're gaining more and more wisdom of that self-remembrance and starting to act upon your own self's desires and your passion and your grace and your wisdom. And you start to follow a breadcrumb trail of excitement. And then that breadcrumb trail of excitement turns into meeting different people, or having different friends, or having different understanding of just like being yourself. And it's like someone on here just said, thank you for being you. I think that's the greatest advice that anybody could give you if you're on the spiritual path. Just be yourself, be your authentic self. Don't be afraid to surrender. Don't be afraid to be more sensitive. Don't be afraid to be more receptive. And also don't be afraid to explore different avenues of yourself. And I think that's what's beautiful in spirituality, and also in any walk of life, is just really being yourself. And I think it's not really just being yourself, but you're just channeling that I am presence right here, right now, ever present and ever growing. And you're understanding by not knowing anything, you allow yourself to know more. Because if you feel like you have discovered everything about yourself, you will have this almost this pride or this arrogance that I know everything, that I know everything that I need to know at this exact moment, that I feel like I am so more knowing than anybody else that I can't be able to know more. If you just allow yourself to know more every single day, you don't have to know everything. So by surrendering your thoughts, your emotions, your limiting beliefs, everything that is costing you, you actually gain more and more wisdom out of yourself and out of everybody that you love, in a sense. So you allow everybody to be who they are, because you accept everybody as that divine free will, as that growing nature of consciousness. You allow everybody to be in sync with their divinity. You allow everybody to be accepted for what they are. And you don't allow yourself to have clouded judgment. You don't allow yourself to be too impulsive. There's nothing wrong with being impulsive. It just seems like if you do it in a negative sense, or if you do it in a self-destructive sense, you can actually cause yourself different causes and effects that don't align with who you are. So when you align those causes and those effects, it generates a different waves of energy, different waves of manifestation, and it turns into a way of accelerating your journey by opening up deeper and deeper of more and more of who you are. So when you allow yourself to be more open, when you allow yourself to be more spacious of who you are, when you allow yourself to have a direct line of perception of what you want and what you desire, and also the ideas that spawn off of that, you can allow yourself to open yourself up so much to the point where you know that there is no choice but to surrender everything. Because if you put too much stock in it, or if you put too much resistance in it, or you put too many questions or variables in front of it, you're generating more obstacles instead of more victories. So it's like we can look at our peaks and valley moments, or highs and lows, or negative or positives, and we can give more energy or more credence to either one of them. But it's like the example of the white wolf and the black wolf. There was I believe it's a Native American tale where if you feed a certain wolf, yes, this person asked me, you can also book private sessions with me as well if you need to connect into a certain being. So book private sessions. It's only $60 for an hour for psychic readings, healings, activations. And there will be a meditation as well today. So it's like understanding that which wolf do you feed? Do you feed the white wolf? Do you feed the black wolf? And you have to make that distinction. Which are you going to feed? Are you going to feed your angelic presence, or are you going to feed your shadow? So it's always an ongoing battle of like, who am I? What am I here for? What am I here to do? And am I going to give myself to the light, or am I going to give myself to my delusions and my shadow and my distortions? So that's always something you have to weigh up, and you always have to look at it from face value and understand that by doing this, you will achieve a lot of grace and anointing by surrendering more and more every day, because you're allowing yourself to let go so that you can finally receive more. And then as you receive more, you're able to give more. And then when you receive, you give. And then it turns into an ongoing process, because every day is redemption. Everything is rigged in your favor. So you understand that every day that you live on this planet, you allow yourself to gain something. You allow yourself to learn something new. You allow yourself to meditate in a much greater way. So you don't allow yourself to be putting yourself in a box, putting yourself in a corner, or putting yourself on a pedestal even. Because you can't set unrealistic expectations as of right now. So set the expectations that you can, or not even setting any expectations, if that works for you. Because I think expectations always lead to negative outcomes. I'm not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying don't have anything in your future or anything out in front of you. But also just know, don't put too much on yourself that you can't handle at this exact moment. So allow yourself to see that it's just placing yourself where you're needed, and also surrendering every day so that you let go and you gain more and you level up more and you up the ante and you up the frequency of what you want to become at that point in time. Then just be it. Just tap into it. Just drop yourself into that awareness. And then when you do that, you will always be the oracle of love, light, and wisdom in any way, shape, or form. You'll always be that which you want to become. You'll always transform and transmute, and then it'll be an ongoing process of integration. It will always just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. But it's not a revolving door. It's kind of like as if you're rowing a boat. You have to be somewhat steady, or if you're on a kayak, you can't really be very lackadaisical on a kayak, right? So you got to have that steady forward motion. It's kind of like if you're doing, if you're running, you need the endurance. You need to be able to keep going and breathing properly, or your lungs are going to collapse on you. And then you're not going to be able to run. You're not going to be able to run that marathon because you didn't have the endurance to do it. So I think it's not about how fast you're going necessarily, but I think it's about the endurance and the longevity that you have with your meditative path, to where it is easy for you to surrender at any given moment. So I can surrender and give myself to God. I can give my life to God. I can allow myself to be transformed with everything that I want to become. And I don't have to subject myself to anything that allows me to waver from who I am. So allow yourself to be that, and allow yourself to love yourself again, so that you can finally surrender to the point of understanding that it's not surrendering in a negative sense. Because in our entire lifetime as humans, we surrender in a negative sense. We put our needs before our wants. We put our impassions before our passions. We put our lack beliefs in front of our desires. And that's where humanity always shoots itself in the foot, because they don't surrender in a proper way, in a more aligned way, in a positive way. Surrendering should be like a new day. Every day is a new day. I am the beginning and the never ending. I am infinity. And it should feel that empowering. But it's not just saying I am, but it's just like knowing that you are. Just knowing that that is who you are, and that's what you're supposed to be in this life. And that nothing can change that. And no person can change your state of being. It doesn't matter. God has a way and an avenue for everybody on the path. And he's kind of like Santa Claus in that aspect, because he's, sometimes I know in my spiritual journey early on, I'm like, why am I not getting this or achieving that? Or why haven't I done this and that? And that's a negative seeking. That's negative seeking, because you're trying to get the instantaneous result, and that's sometimes not what you need. And then sometimes it's just saying that, look what I already have. Look what I have accomplished. Look what I have tapped into and have embarked upon. And I think it's looking at it with that perspective, and it will just change the way that you feel about it. So, let's do a meditation. Let's do a quick meditation. I hope everybody can hear me, because I did turn up the volume, it seemed like. I hope everybody could hear me. So, allow yourself to surrender your beliefs, your lack beliefs, everything that makes you not God, everything that tries to slow you down, that tries to impede upon your awareness. Allow yourself to take a big, deep breath in. And then when you take that deep breath out, that is that Kundalini energy that is migrating into unity, which is allowing the masculine and the feminine to come together, and allowing it to be one, allowing it to be in sync, allowing it to be a point of letting go, and then reception, and then adding, and then subtracting, and then implementing everything that you want within your life. Letting go of all the things that are costing you, all the things that are draining you of your finances, draining you of your energy, everything that is allowing you not to grow and prosper and be worthy and be accepting of your state of being, of your own consciousness. And then more and more, don't allow yourself to just step out of the meditation and come back to your body. Because I think that promotes a negative sense of like not allowing yourself to be the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom when you need to be it. Can you be at a high resonance all the time? Can you be empowered all the time? Can you allow yourself to have that heart coherence with that mind and that body and that spirit? And to be able to stay there. Can you allow yourself to flow with your energy? And that by surrendering, I am that oracle, that consciousness, that God, that prophet that wants to know itself even more, even deeper, even more intrinsically by decoding everything that is not me. So when I surrender, I am allowing myself to be the prophecy that I'm seeking. I allow myself to prophesy. I allow myself to actualize the reality that I'm in, and allowing it to be simultaneous but also parallel and not linear. So you allow yourself to upgrade, up the ante, and just up the frequency instead of feeling like you don't have to have shackles on you. You don't have to be on your hands and knees and pray. If you feel like that's needed, that's okay too. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you can just accept it here and now that I have surrendered, and you have given your life and your heart and your body as a vessel of the divine to that Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom, that I've given my life to my guides, my higher self, and God as one. And nothing can change that. So thank you guys for tuning in to this live. Allow yourselves to remain at that frequency. And when we say that we're coming back, let's not make it to where we're just coming back into the body, but just coming back in sync with our divine selves with that meditation. So I want to thank you all for just being on this live with me, but also just being a part of surrendering, being a part of opening up more, being a part of just channeling your divine essence and allowing that to be the vantage point to where you're able to be more impactful, be more confident, be more calm, be more still, and be more powerful with yourself by surrendering and being that open channel of that divine source of energy. So I want to thank you guys. Also, you can book private sessions as well. They're only $60 for 1 hour for healing energy, meditations, anything that you would like to know in a sense. So yeah, surrendering is beautiful. And I hope that we all surrender more together as a human collective. So thank you. God bless and namaste.